Oh, man, finally home. What a long day. Better unwind. PS5. What is that? Huh? You literally don't have a job. How did you buy that game?
Here you go.
This is my wallet. How did you get that? So now I'm supposed to be as broke as you. Great. And I can't even buy any of the sweet PS5 games I was going to talk about. So thanks. Thanks for ruining everything. What is up, guys? Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of top upcoming PS5 games. Originally, I had them all together, but it was just going to be way too long, so I decided to split it into 2. If you haven't checked out the first video, I'm going to provide a link real quick. Go ahead and click on that, watch that one, and then get over here, because there's lots of sweet games for you to anticipate and be hyped for and get once you eventually get the PlayStation 5 that you deserve. So anyway, guys, without further ado, here are 5 more upcoming PlayStation 5 games. Enjoy! So this game I originally wasn't going to put on the list because it's set to release next year, and I kind of really wanted to keep all these games confined to 2020, but it just got a title reveal and it kind of made a splash, so I really just had to. So originally this game was codenamed Project Athia, but it just, like I said, just got a recent official title release, which is Forespoken. And good lord, from what they have shown off, this game looks awesome. It was announced some time ago during one of Sony's conferences, and it's being developed by Square Enix and Luminous Productions, which is the team that worked on Final Fantasy 15. I'm a huge fan of Square Enix and Final Fantasy, so I also just, once again, really had to put it on this video. I'm sure some of you watching are, and it's definitely something to watch and keep an eye out for. Since it just barely got its own official name released, they haven't really given much more information other than that, and unsurprisingly. Forespoken is an action RPG in which you play as a woman named Freya, who will travel across a fantastical and dangerous world as she attempts to unravel a mystery around the unknown world of Athia. According to the website and the gameplay, traversal will be fast-paced and extremely satisfying, and it honestly looks just to be that. The animations for this look awesome, and I really can't wait to use some of these powers. They have some really good weight behind them, and like they're going to be a load of fun to use. Outside of that, literally really nothing else has been shared about the game, but it really looks amazing. So definitely keep a close eye out on this one. Like I said earlier, the game is set to release in 2022. Alright, now this is quite a unique one on the list. This was a game that was announced quite some time ago, and it has been under the radar for quite a bit, honestly. A tiny team of 18 people at THQ Nordic has been working hard on this project since 2017, at least that's when it was announced. Biomutant is an open-world post-apocalyptic RPG, and as someone who loves both of these things, I'm pretty stoked for this game, actually. The game will start by letting you create a character, and one super cool thing about this that I think is also unique is that your physical attributes correspond to your character's attributes. So, for example, the bigger your character's head, the higher their intelligence attribute may be. Obviously, it is an RPG, so you will get points as you level up, which you can then assign to your attributes later on. You'll also be able to mutate later on in the game if you want to reset your base attributes. I don't know if that changes how you look again or not, but we'll see. I'm kind of assuming it does. It seems like it's a pretty core aspect of it. As I mentioned, it is an open world game, and there will be outposts scattered throughout the map. You will join a tribe in the game and then conquer the outpost for that tribe. This leads to sweet weapon unlocks and different fighting styles that you can utilize. Additionally, the world has a Breath of the Wild influence, So you'll have different regions that have different weather types, which will provide different obstacles for you as a player. The game will also have a tree of life, and you can follow the roots of this tree to different areas throughout the map and follow it to different world bosses that can be killed for obviously just more rewards. The game will also feature a very in-depth and detailed crafting system, which hopefully has some more depth to it than most crafting systems we've seen in like the last decade. The formula has been pretty unchanged for the most part. I don't have any other details really on it other than that, but apparently it's supposed to be big. If you're a fan of RPGs, definitely keep your eye on this one. It looks like a load of fun, and it's actually been under a lot of people's radars. Biomutant will be dropping May 25th. Up next, you may have heard of this one, Deathloop. Quite honestly, like, the more I see about this game, the more stoked I am for it. The game is being developed by Arcane Studios, which might sound familiar. They are the talented team that made the very underrated Dishonored games. It's being published by Bethesda, which is obviously now owned by Microsoft, so you might be a little bit confused as to why this game is on the list, but it is actually one of the games that Microsoft is honoring the contract for to be a PS5 exclusive. Now, if you've played Dishonored, you'll immediately notice that the art style is very, very similar. Just the style overall, the gameplay mechanics look really similar. And I thought it was going to be kind of a continuation or like a spiritual successor that shared the same universe, but it really seems like there's a lot more to this game than just that. The game takes place on an island caught in an endless loop where two assassins battle will decide the fate of the island. You play as an assassin named Colt. Your objective is to use your weapons and abilities to kill 8 priority targets in order to break the cycle. The catch is that a rival assassin named Juliana is waiting to assassinate you unpredictably. Each time the cycle repeats, new paths and approaches open up, not dissimilar to Dishonored and how they kind of made choice a really big aspect of the game. But it's not that simple. Possibly the coolest thing about Deathloop is that the game is going to offer a PvP mode in which enemy players can take control of Juliana and attempt to take you out. On their own, basically. Conversely, you can also hop into other people's games and take control of her yourself. I think this is a really super cool idea, honestly. It's going to make some very exciting gameplay and probably rage-inducing at times, but it sounds really unique and I'm really pumped for it. The last awesome thing about Deathloop is that it does utilize the adaptive triggers on the DualSense controller, which, let's be real, everybody wants more of that. So there is a chance that your weapon will become jammed. When this happens, your triggers will also jam, simulating the jammed trigger. Jamming, if you didn't figure that out. They will also be utilizing it when triggering abilities, and they will also utilize the haptic feedback, which is very cool, and the controller speaker at times, so we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't sound too gimmicky, but most other times when Sony has used the speaker, I found it to be pretty cool, honestly. It's usually pretty unexpected. Luckily, we won't have to wait too much longer to experience this one, and it is going to be dropping on May 21st. This next game has probably the most unique art style out of all the games we've talked about so far, and I know that's really saying a lot. Little Devil Inside is a survival action adventure game with a minimalistic and super beautiful art style. This game is captivating. The art direction is incredible, and from what's been shown in the gameplay, it looks like the tone and the mood can just swing this game's emotion just so much, just on its own. Minimalism is an overarching theme that's going to be present throughout the game, so you can see this in something as simple as the HUD, obviously, and also in terms of some of the mechanics that have been showed off in the gameplay, like making fires, cooking, drinking, sleeping, hunting, all that stuff, searching for food, inventory, basically just all of it just seems super minimalistic. Some of this game looks unreal. It seems like it's going to have an amazing amount of depth for an indie game, and if it delivers, it's going to be fucking kick-ass. This game really seems to just have everything. Crafting, combat, humor, science, technology, amazing enemy variety, and this baby pig. It's really hard to look at this game and not be excited for it, in my opinion. Story-wise, you are tasked with creating an encyclopedia of the weird and wonderful. So, including monsters and the supernatural, basically, you're just going on this giant adventure to create this encyclopedia. One of the coolest things about this game is that you will also have random encounters and weather events. So, the amount of spontaneous things that can happen seem pretty vast. Like I said, I am super stoked for this one, and hopefully I was able to put it on your radar. If everything goes according to plan, Little Devil Inside should be releasing in July of this year. Alright, so the last game on our list is also from Bethesda, similar to Deathloop, and it is also a game that is being honored by Microsoft via the prior exclusivity contracts. So really not a ton has been shared about GhostWire Tokyo, but it has captured a lot of people's attention. I know that there are a lot of people who are really excited for this game, and it definitely has my attention as well. GhostWire Tokyo is an action horror title from the Resident Evil creator Shinji Mikami. I hope I'm saying that right. This was the director of Resident Evil 1, 4, and also he did The Evil Within as well. Like, honestly, just even saying that gets me super excited. If you are at all a fan of any of those games, they're pretty much all masterpieces, and he definitely gives us a good reason to be optimistic about this title. So as you can see, GhostWire Tokyo is a first-person game, and the combat seems to be focused on abilities and magic casting, which is a really interesting combination. This is a serious departure from what we've kind of grown to expect from both Resident Evil and The Evil Within, so it seems like he really wanted to take a new direction, but honestly it looks really awesome. Since it is an action/horror game, I'm really hoping that it does deliver on some good scares. I mean, that's kind of what we have grown to expect. Although it seems like the fast-paced action and abilities are definitely the core focus, so I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of strays away from that and seems to mostly focus on action. The story is centered around the population of Tokyo disappearing, and in their place, ghosts and demons taking up residence. Obviously, you are tasked with eradicating them from the city. But yeah, that's pretty much all that we know about GhostWire Tokyo so far. I'm really excited to hear more about this title, and I'm sure we're super close to some very big discoveries, since the game hasn't really been talked about basically since its reveal. The game is currently set to be released later this year. Alright guys, that wraps it up for my additional 5 upcoming PS5 games. Our additional 5 upcoming PS5 games. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget like, comment, subscribe. All those things help me out and help out with the algorithm, so if you did enjoy the video, just please hit the button. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. What are your most anticipated PS5 games that are upcoming? God of War, Horizon, Resident Evil, any of those, or maybe even one on this list. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for our next video. Bye bye! Yeah. Hey! Get down! What are you doing?